The fundamentals of the economy actually started deteriorating, as we are all told, before COVID came. Even if COVID made its headquarters in Ghana, we provided a context. The results of that is that because of low resilience of our economy, we succumb to the pressure and the shocks. Whilst we are towards the end of August and we are talking about IMF program, it was our considered view that the optimal time for Ghana to have made the application was last year. If we had done, probably by now a program would have been concluded. The delay is costing us and is creating a bigger hole now. What gets sacrificed in all of this has been critical investment in the growth enhancing areas that should move us out of poverty. The neglect or the culprit has been agriculture, agribusiness, and manufacturing. In 2003, Ghana signed on to the Comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program, which among other things required that we commit to at least 10% in terms of budgetary allocation to that sector. And among other things, investment in technology, infrastructure, and all of that, that was supposed to give us a minimum growth of 6%. Ghana could not keep to that. In fact, studies by Oxfam between 2010 and 2015 indicated that Ghana was one of the least committed countries to narrowing inequality through agriculture. The highest was Mali, that committed averagely 11% of their budget to agriculture, followed by Burkina Faso, 10.3%, and then Niger, 9.8%. Probably it will not be strange if you get to know that Ghana was importing tomatoes from a desert country, Burkina Faso. There is a reason. The least committed ones, you find Ghana at the bottom, below 3%. Of course, our neighbors, we are not neighbors for nothing. Nigeria, 2.8%. Cote d'Ivoire, in terms of agriculture, 3.6%. The reason this subject matter is important is that if you look at the growing unemployment, the inequality reducing effect of agriculture is the highest. Our job creation capacity rests with agriculture and agribusiness. Studies have shown that if we boost agricultural output by $1 million, it will create along its path 750 jobs. That's the data. From the Ghana Statistical Service, within what we call the social accounting metrics, with the exception of output, agriculture has the highest multiplier effect when it comes to employment and then income. Again, agriculture has the highest inequality reducing effect with an index of negative 0.41. If you have this data and we are driven by the data, then it means that we are in a position actually to bring inclusive growth and be able to feed ourselves. And why we could have made agriculture the backbone of this economy, the evidence is clear. The net food import of Africa in 2015 was $35 billion. This is how the business community reacts to data. And this was projected to reach $110 billion by 2025. That meant that that's a huge market for Ghana to take advantage of, particularly within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade. Of course, if you don't make the required investment, and the nature of the sector, agriculture, agribusiness, linked that to manufacturing is such that without adequate funding from the public sector, from the state, it's very difficult to leave all of that to the private sector to fund in terms of critical infrastructure and also in terms of their business model, even if they look at it from the net present value or so. But now that we are under an IMF, or we are going for an IMF program, actually, the future rests with us because the IMF will not impose a program on us. We are going to develop the program ourselves. So this is the best time to make the right input into whatever program that will be developed, focusing on agriculture, agribusiness, and manufacturing. The reason I see accommodating perspective from the fund is that, unlike the IMF of old, the IMF of today is much concerned about inequality. It's much concerned about unemployment. So because the issue of inequality, the issue of climate change, and the rest of them have assumed some level of macro criticality, for which reason in the IMF's own macro framework of doing things, they value them. So any program that involves significant funding to agriculture, agribusiness, and manufacturing, I think can be accommodated. It depends on how we rationalize our expenditure along these lines, and also create the right environment for private sector to complement the public sector investment in that area.